Welcome back to another Cube video. My name is Edward, also known as Strategy, and let's see if we can open up another Mox Emerald, maybe. If it ever wants to load. There we go. Okay, well, we got a recall. That's nice. We're going to select that. Going over a few things. Looks like our person to our right might have just taken a power pack as well. I do want to go take a few minutes, or not few minutes, but a few moments to look over the rest of the pack. We got reprinted recall. No, Ancient Tomb's not going to come back around. It would be nice to get Power Kinesis back. That one came around a lot the last time Cube happened. I wouldn't be excited, but I don't mind playing cards like Sentinel. Sentinel's a very strong card, and I don't think this Verdant Catacombs is coming back around anyways. I think we're done playing with our food. Let's take our Ancestral Recall and move on. I don't recall if I got to draft this card last time in the cube. Oh, a Booster Tutor. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Booster Tutor. If Booster Tutor wasn't here, I'd probably take Lorien Revealed. I don't really want to go Mother of Runes after taking Recall. You can certainly defend it and just play Recall in your aggressive deck, but I don't want to do that. Let's just take the Booster Tutor. I don't think we're going to get much back unless we're open to play green. Maybe we can do Rug, play some loot action. I guess Booster Tutor kind of makes that not a thing, but 4-color maybe. Okay, so Jace Vryn's Prodigy, I think, is normally a pretty aggressive pick 3. However, we have a Recall and a Booster Tutor that this can flash back. Stock Up is also another amazing card. So is Narset. I don't mind this Marsh Flats. But when we have... Oh, there's also a Lutri, though. Okay. I mean, Lutri's free. We're not guaranteed to get Jace. Jace can die, etc. Yeah, I think we're supposed to just take the Lutri. What is this? This is Sunbaked Canyon. Okay. Yeah, okay. Stock Up's nice, Narset's nice. I would take the Jace here, but with Lutri in the same pack, I think that is better. So let's take the Lutri. This rewards us for spells. Yeah, non-creature spells, it gets bigger. And if we're going to be a Lutri deck, it does reward us for having a bunch of non-creatures in, or specifically instants and sorceries, of course, but... This isn't an inciting pack. I think I am going to take this. If I had an Izzet or a Dimir dual land, I would probably take it over. But I don't, so let's just take it. Okay, we got a Bauble, a Wrenn 6, a Ponder. Galvanic Discharge is not a bad one either, but we don't have to be red currently, so if this was Lightning Bolt, I would definitely consider it and just take it, and maybe we're playing Grixis at that point, but it's not Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I think I like the Ponder probably the most. I don't think we're going to be a Wrenn 6 deck. I don't mind the Bauble either. It can trigger Astrolabe. If we get like the Corey Steel Cutter, it can help trigger those things as well. But I think I like the Ponder just a little bit better. Tishana's Tidebinder is another really good one, but I'm going to take the Ponder. Not interested in Fire Blast. There's a Sylvan Safekeeper. Oh, there's a Windswept Heath, but we're not those colors. I'm going to take the Windswept Heath and hear me out. We could end up Bug relatively easy. I know Bug doesn't have a lot of non-creature spells that come to mind immediately. But I'd rather take the green touching land than some green spells first. As we can get a Triome with this potentially that is blue-black, like the Bug Triome or the Esper Triome. Other than that, like, I would just take the Sylvan Safekeeper because I love Titania so much, but I'm just going to take this fetch land, but I'm going to put it in the sideboard for now because I just don't think we're going to play it. I don't think we're going to play it right now, obviously. I would like to be able to play it, but... I just don't think taking any of those other cards, I'm interested in the green cards in that pack, and again, I'd rather take green fixing before I take green cards and make my my mana base a little bit worse. If you watch the last draft, we had a pretty ambitious mana base, but we only really got punished necessarily like once, so that's nice. Okay, well here's what we're talking about. There's a hedge maze that goes with the Windswept Heath pretty well. I would like the loot. I did mention loot earlier, but we don't necessarily want to play red if we don't have to, and this hedge maze lets us put Windswept Heath into the deck. There's a small chance that this loot comes back around as well, in which case maybe I take it then. But yeah, we're going to take the hedge maze. At absolute worst, this is an island that surveils, and I'm okay with that. So, let's see here. Oh, breeding pool now. It's also a mortuary. Okay, no, and that turns Windswept Heath into a black land. I do like the breeding pool, but I think we're supposed to diversify, and I want to play this booster tutor. So as much as I do want this breeding pool, I'm going to take the mortuary. Let's see here. Let's... Do we just take Talisman here? I could see taking Brainstorm. Maybe we're supposed to just take Brainstorm. I'm going to take Brainstorm. We have a fetch line. Maybe we can get another one. Wow, Mother of Runes on the wheel. What is this? When this creature enters, if it gets promised to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Not really interested in that. Not really interested in a lot of this. I'm just going to take the Unholy Heat. I'm not saying we're going to play it, but if loot comes back around, it's a higher chance. Okay, Baleful Strix. I'm interested in a Baleful Strix, that's for sure. This is another way to get untapped black, but we'd have to... We don't have to, but it would open up white. I'm just going to take the Baleful Strix. I like that card a lot. Okay, this is red-black off of the Windswept Heath. I like that better than the rest of these options. This is pretty firmly in there. Let's just take the land. I don't want to play those other spells. There's a Safekeeper. You know, if I'm going to be playing green, I actually do want the Sylvan Safekeeper, but I'm going to put it here for now. Don't want the Containment Priest for now, although it is a nice combo with Felia. That's a Ruby. Well, that definitely increases our chances of playing red, even though loot didn't come back around. Of course, you don't have to play red at all, but if you look at my pips, Ruby's not going to be doing much currently. It is nice to both buy and play Lurrus. Like that's a huge plus. So I'm obviously taking the Ruby. I'm just, again, going over my picks. I do think it's smart to kind of evaluate so that you can hopefully help plan for the wheels when you make other picks. That's a Mana Drain. Mana Drain's another incredible one. Tamiyo, I think, is likely to wheel. I'm definitely not taking it here at pick 2. Oh, there's an Orcish Bowmasters, though. Is that better than Mana Drain? We can't really use Mana Drain outside of buying Lutri. And this opens us up to, like, Wheel of Fortune Time Twister type shenanigans. Yeah, let's take the Bowmasters. And it's also just another way to play Ruby, which is really nice. Yeah, let's take the Ruby. Obviously, I took the Ruby. Let's take the Orcish Bowmasters, I mean. Okay, Abhorrent Oculus is a really nice one. We have a ton of spells to fill our yard. We have a fetch. Ruby does help cast this as well. That's probably what we're taking. I don't see much else. Like, Dark Confidant is also kind of nice for a deck like this. Because we have such a low CMC. I mean, our highest card is literally Lutri right now, and that's going to be in our sideboard. Technically, we could still be a Lurrus deck, too, if we wanted to be. So, yeah, we're going to take the Abhorrent Oculus. I don't think the rest of the pack is on the same power level as Abhorrent Oculus, so let's just take it. Let's see here. I'm not seeing much, honestly. There's Retrofitter. There's Path, but I don't want to play white if I don't have to. There's a couple duels. There's another blue-green tap land and a green-black tap land. We already have those with the Surveil lands, so I'm not prioritizing those. I suppose I could just take Spire Bluff Canal. It's a way to play Unholy Heat if we choose to do so, and it's that or Retrofitter, and I don't think we're gonna spend a lot of time retrofittering. I'll take the retro. I think I'd regret more not taking the retro if it works out than missing on the Spire Bluff Canal. Spire Bluff Canal. Oh, there's the Lurrus that we just spoke of. Yeah, nothing else in here outside of Otawara is that exciting for me. And we could just be blue-black Lurrus at this point. Yeah, we're going to take the Lurrus. We can't companion it because of the Lutri. Why can't I put this on my sideboard? There we go. Let's companion this. Maybe that'll help remind us. Okay, it won't let me. Anyways, okay. So ways to protect Lutri are nice. Or Lurrus, I mean. Flame Slash is also really nice. So I was thinking about Giver of Runes, which might seem kind of awkward. I did pass Mother of Runes. Now keep in mind, we don't have to stay with Lurrus. We do still have this Lutri we could play instead. With that said, nothing in here I'm like super excited about. I will just take the Flame Slash though. This is all over the place. I apologize. Okay, well this is a dual land, or a dual land. I get to pick the color. There was a Stoneforge Mystic, but I would like to try to stay blue-black if I can, or Grixis, potentially. -5, -0, and loses all abilities. I'm just going to take the land. I really want to be able to cast my spells. Oust is a nice one if we were to play white. Oliphant, if we decide to play Grixis, which we do have a couple reasons to. Tireless Tracker's not nothing, but we can't play it with Lurrus, so I don't think it's worth giving up. I'm going to take the Oliphant. If we end up playing Grixis, I'm going to want to have that. I don't think I'm passing up too much. Okay, well, Phantasmal Image I do like. It's another Orcish Bowmasters of Baleful Strix, or maybe a Gristlebrand on their side. Nothing else in here I really necessarily care about. Oh, I can't Abhorrent Oculus with Lurrus. That's why I can't do that. All right, stop screaming at me, everyone. I guess I am going to Lutri, because I do want that to be a thing. Okay, Knight's Whisper or Culligan's Command. If I'm going to be playing red, I definitely want Culligan's Command, so let's just take that. Don't really care about anything in here. Thieving Skydiver is a nice one to steal artifacts with, of course. Yeah, we could take that over a junk dual land. For those of you that don't know, that color combination used to be referred to as junk back in the day. Yep. All right. Well, hopefully pack 3 will help us out. Okay, there's a Saga. Saga gets Retrofitter and Mox. That's probably enough for now. There's also technically a blue-black fetch. Yeah, I don't think it's the Saga. I don't think we're going to be doing much. There's the Bug Triome. Definitely ended up a little bit more Grixis than anything else. Yeah, I think just taking the on-color fetch, because it's all colors, is probably what we're going to be doing here. It is unfortunate we didn't get another piece of power, but, you know, we got 2. I can't complain. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's a Mox Emerald. Yeah, we're gonna take our companion Mox Emerald. Okay, I have to. I think it's official. I think I just have to get Mox Emerald art and put it on my wall. Anyone know Dan Fraser wants to hook me up with that? That'd be great. Let's just take this Mox Emerald. I'm so like tilted by that. I didn't even look at the rest of the pack. I don't even care. That's funny. All right, Borogoyf's a nice one since we're already not going to be playing Luris. Borogoyf also helps fill for Aborn Oculus. There's Subtlety, which I don't hate. There's also a Memory Lapse. Consider helps with that as well. There's also Dark Slick Shores. What's our spell count look like? 16. We definitely need some more spells. Borogoyf's also really nice off of the off-color Moxen. Of course, they don't have to be off-color. They're just currently off-color. This also gets red. Let's just take the Borogoyf. I almost let that run out of time. Okay. I did like that Stomping Grounds. Ooh, Lightning Bolt. I mean, I already kind of need to play red for the spell count, and I have Kolaghan's Command, which I do want to play. So I think that's all right. This is already blue-black. Hopefully we can get that Stomping Ground back, and it'll be red as well, but we'll see. Let's get Flame Slash and Unholy Heat in. Probably get Oliphant in. Which means Savai Triome's in. Okay. Alright, Natural Order. Obviously we're not taking that there. Stern Scolding's a nice one. There's also a blue-black fetchable, but we don't have a way to fetch it. And we likely won't see one. We already have a red fetchable off of the Windswept Heath. It's just not untapped, and this one doesn't give us untapped, so honestly, I'm probably just going to take this Undercity Sewers. There's a Tursa. Man, we really did not get a lot of spells. Not as much as I would have liked, at least. I do really enjoy Tursa. But, I don't know. Let's just take it. I might regret that decision later. Okay, green-black doesn't do anything other than, like, the Windswept Heath being black, of course. We're not going to be very good against Wasteland, but we probably need to play all these. Oh, you know what? There's a Virtue of Persistence. I'm okay with Virtue. Virtue's a nice one. Preacher's not a nice one, but I'm going to take the Virtue. This is a 2-drop. We're already not playing the Luris, so... How badly is my mana that I want Mana Confluence? Probably not too bad. I'm going to take it. I don't see anything else in here I'm necessarily interested in. But I may not play it. There's Ent. What is this? Oh, Urtai. I'm not a huge fan of Urtai. No disrespect, but I'm just not for me. Zagoth Triome. I mean, that is a blue-black land that's fetchable, I suppose. But we already have blue-black that's fetchable. Yeah. Whatever. I don't want to play those other spells, so let's just take that. Iteration. Yeah. I think I like that better than these. 6 is not a bad one either. It's a way we can get back some permanents with our lands, and definitely a reason to play green, since we're already probably going to be playing green. Sure, let's take the 6. This is just another really wonky draft. Let's see. Subtlety or Consider? I want to take Consider. I know Subtlety is a good card. I definitely have come up a lot on that, even in my own personal cubes, but... Well, Tribal Flames is a decent removal spell if we're going to be playing all the colors. We don't need this white. I'm just going to hate on someone's natural order that they clearly don't want. Okay, you know what? A red-black land that's okay. We take those. All right. I will see you in the deck building. All right, this is what I ended up going with. I am playing 15 lands, obviously because of the 2 Moxen. I again, I'm not excited. I wasn't excited about the last draft, though. I do think that that other deck, though, was a little bit better. We have power, of course, but this, I think I'm just going to predict another 3-3, and if we do better, that's great. I think if Culligan's Command, Orcish Bowmasters, maybe Thieving Skydiver, like if those can pull their weight, I definitely think this deck will have a good time. We don't have a lot of interaction, if any, unfortunately, if our opponents are playing combo decks. Something we could do if we have Recall in our hand and aren't playing it for whatever reason, if our opponent's a Brain Freeze deck and they decide to get greedy and Brain Freeze themselves out before killing us, we can recall them. That would be nice. Um, but yeah, I would like to see Astrolabe early and often. That would be great as well. But I think Booster Tutor's going to have to hit some bangers for us. I'm not excited to play this Gold Span, but everything else is kind of fine. 6 is a way to abuse, Baleful Strix effects, which is also nice. So we'll see how it goes. Again, I'm going to predict 3-3, and maybe we'll end up like we did last time. See you in round 1. All right, welcome to round 1. Let's see how this goes. I'm not too excited, but maybe we can get some Mox in and a Recall in our opener hand, and we'll do well. I mean, this does get blue mana for our Ponder. I think I'm okay with this. We also have the Questing Druid to help find more mana as well. Let's just play the Foundry for now. I don't want to devote this to blue and then immediately draw like Basic Island or another blue source. Our opponent is matching our sleeves. Very nice, very appropriate. I like to call, I don't know what this is actually named, but I like to pretend this is a Shivan Dragon. Okay, well, at least they took out the mountain. I care a little bit less about that. And now I am definitely naming blue with this. Let's pay 2 life and let's ponder. I mean, that sets up a Questing Druid, but then we're just drawing these. That's not great for us. I'm going to keep, and I'm not going to shuffle. I think if we shuffle and I don't draw a land here, I'm going to be very sad. But maybe shuffling and then next turn... Oh, no. Yeah, because if I don't draw a land here, yep, okay, no, I have to keep. So decline the shuffle, draw. It's just so bad if we don't hit any land, and at least this is a red land. Okay, well, I'm glad I kept the Thieving Skydiver over the 6, because the 6 is probably not getting cast, and now next turn, if I can hit a land, we can Thieving Skydiver that Skull Clamp and then draw 2 cards. So that's actually really nice. Hopefully this resolves, but I don't expect it to. Oh, it just instantly resolved. Okay, great. Yep, we're going to play this land like it's nobody's business. We have black mana now, and at this point, I'm just going to leave up Retrofitter Foundry activation. If that was a green source, I might have considered just playing the 6 just to be able to use it over playing Thieving Skydiver that turn. Let's make a servo. See, I'm glad I took this over Spire Bluff Canal right now in this exact situation. Okay, so let's attack and see what they would do first. Let's go to combat. I really hope they respond to this and do something so that I can take this Skull Clamp and have it with my Retrofitter Foundry, but it looks like that's not what's going to happen. Also, this doesn't help us with any other lands, but alright. I think it's a high chance that they have something, but I think... Do I just play the Baleful Strix then? Yeah, I'll play the Baleful Strix. I'll wait one more turn. They're not abusing the Skull Clamp currently. This lets us get a Flying Thopter into play. And if they have a counterspell, which I think they do, then I'd rather them hit the Baleful Strix, honestly. Hull Breacher. That's going to resolve, and then we're going to kill the Hull Breacher. Very glad I did not run out the Thieving Skydiver. Filling up our yard for this Abhorrent Oculus. It does need to get to 6 cards, so we're halfway there. Okay, an Urza. Now that we can Flame Slash and steal the Skull Clamp for. And that'll also weaken the Construct. They have 2 mana up, but we're going to Flame Slash first and see what they do. Let's play around Mana Leak. That's free. Remember, we can go to main. We can go to combat 2 if we want. I'm going to attack for 2 though. Okay, I was gonna say if they didn't float and they just block, because then when I steal the Skull Clamp, it'd have 1 point of damage on it, and then it would die. Malcolm is fine. I think I value the Thieving Skydiver more than I value... Let's see what this gets us real quick. More than I value removing the Malcolm. Okay, this does not get us untapped. That's good to know. I'm glad I checked. So, do we need black or blue more? We have 2 black. We only have 1 blue. Let's take this. So give us a little bit more information. We don't need this. All right, there we go. Cast with Kicker. Pay 1. Let's steal this Skull Clamp. That'll draw us 2 cards. Okay. Let's attack with the ground. I'll leave Baleful Strix back so they have to use a removal spell if they want to attack with their Malcolm. I don't hate our position. I think a Tinker can definitely upheaval, no pun intended, this game for us. But outside of a Tinker, I feel really good. I'm hoping that they're just a blue-black deck that just plays Urza more than an artifact-based deck. Interesting. Okay, it is a Time Twister. Hey, Moxen. And nothing else, really. I mean, I guess we got the recall. We got all the power. Okay, they got some power, too. Man, imagine if we draw the blue equipment I took early on in the draft and then get to just swarm the field with it. Yeah, we will take 2. That is no problem. No blocks. Oh, a Jace. Okay. Well, we probably need to kill that. Tribal Flames for full domain, anyone? Yeah, these 2 are full domain. That's funny. Let's cast the Emerald. Cast the Ruby. Play the Questing Druid. Play the Recall. Target me. See where this takes us. Ooh. Let's destroy this artifact. I don't care about the construct at all. And then let's kill the Jace. We still have a land drop to make if we want it. And I think we do. And I think I want it to be untapped. I don't think I want a Virtue of Persistence here. We have 2 ways to kill the Malcolm currently. We don't need to draw any more cards at the moment, I don't think. So I'm just going to leave up, make a 1/1 flyer and a shock. That way, if they do kill the Baleful Strix, we can still block the Malcolm. That is one of the reasons. Now, they do have a Hull Breacher in their deck, of course, but that is one of the reasons why I'm just not the hugest fan of draw sevens normally. I mean, results oriented so far, I feel like we got the better deal. I am really glad that they chose the original arts for these. I don't know why they didn't do that for the spells, but you know, that's okay. I mean, we can kill that with Tribal Flames, thankfully. Yep. They still can't attack us because the Questing Druid, which is really nice. And at this point, Unholy Heat might just go after Dothy Voidwalker before I do anything else, because Dothy Voidwalker turns off Skull Clamp. I guess it doesn't for the tokens, right? I believe that's how that works. I could be wrong. But I believe tokens still go to the yard. Which is weird, but I believe that's how that works. Opponent tanking. They have 2 cards left. It's clearly not a time walk. Okay, we will block. This could be a trap of some sort, but I'm okay with it. Are they going to kill the Questing Druid in response? Okay. Yeah, that's fine, unfortunately. This takes them off mana. I'm going to kill the Dolphy. And then now we have sack make a 4/4 whenever we want it, basically. Let's kill the Urza. We definitely don't want Urza sticking around. Let's play the Underground Mortuary. I'm going to bottom a lot of things here. Like this Astrolabe, honestly. Play the Borogoyf. And yeah, I'm just going to kill this Malcolm. That could come back and make me regret things, but I think it's fine. Let's just clamp here. They have 1 card left, 6 mana. They could have a Time Spiral, but that's fine. I mean, they're technically +1 on cards if they do. Swords, okay. Yep, that's... Didn't want to see a Swords, that's for sure. Okay, so they should not be attacking unless they don't know how Retrofitter works, which they do not. Oh, yeah, there we go. Alright, I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 2. Let's see what this can do for us now. Okay, we have another turn 1 Retrofitter Foundry. I guess we can't technically play it turn 1, but it's in our opening hand. And I guess we're going to lead with Savai Triome, as if our opponent strip mines us again, I would rather lose that land than the Restless Vents. And it's another untapped red if we want it for the Lightning Bolt. So yeah, let's keep. Play it. Mountain Go, eh? Well, we can't use the Retrofitter even if we wanted to, so let's just leave up our options. I'm super excited for Booster Tutor to be back on the client. I think whoever designed this, or whoever put this on Arena, fantastic job. Okay, you have a Mox Diamond. If they have a Twister, I guess I'm just going to bolt them. Tezzeret. Okay, that's unfortunate. If they minus, we can Lightning Bolt if we want. I will likely do that. Oh, wow, Soul Ring, that's nice. Yeah, let's just not let them abuse anything else that they already have. Alright, well that's blue mana. We already had blue mana, of course, but... I'm going to get down the Hedge Maze since it's green. We don't need an island. And I'm going to play Retro, and then maybe end of turn we Booster Tutor for something. Let's see how badly this Soul Ring is going to impact this game. Oh, Corey Steelcutter, okay. Something I would do, if I had a blue card in my hand, I would have Booster Tutored in response to find either Force of Negation or Force of Will. It is important to think about those things, but I don't have a blue card in my hand, so not relevant in this particular case, and I'd rather just see what they do with the rest of their turn before I cast it and make that decision. Luckily, Barrogoyf's going to be pretty decent here. Looks to be, at least. Okay. It is already a 3/4. Okay, now with that, I will go ahead and Booster Tutor in response. Well, there's our loot. Reprieve's a fun one, too. We're pretty far from Crabomination, pretty far from Matali. I do have Leyline Binding equals 1. Is that what we're supposed to take? Or we can just exile it permanently? But it's hard for blue-red to deal with enchantments anyways. And it's a 1-drop. If I had double white, I would strongly consider Adeline, honestly. I could also take a fetch land if I really want it, but I want to take the Leyline Binding, I think. If I top deck untapped land, I'm going to be very happy I did that. I mean, that technically counts, right? Am I supposed to just hit the Fable at this point? I think I am. Let's see what this does first. Ponder, I think, is better than the average draw, so let's keep. And I'm going to hit the Fable. I may regret this, but I don't want them to draw cards. But if they just go like Atali here, I'm going to be very sad. I guess Leyline wouldn't stop the Atali anyways, but I believe they see that I took Leyline, so they know to play around it. So I think it's best to just play at sorcery speed there. Okay. Yep. Snap suplex. That's brutal. That is very brutal for us. And that's going to exile it too, so we can't even 6 it back later. Alright, well, if we had Damnation in our deck, I'd feel really good right now, but we don't. Alright, let's ponder. See what we can find. Colligan's Command. That is a great one. Decline. I can't do both, unfortunately, but I can destroy target artifact, deal 2 damage. Let's destroy this and deal 2 damage to this. They have to cast 2 spells in order to do more damage than what the Goblin's doing, and the Goblin has other synergies potential. Okay, that's a very good draw for our opponent. Yep. Good game. Not much we could have done about that other than playing Virtue, but I could have left the Steel Cutter on the board, I suppose, but I couldn't have 2-for-1. So I guess the Virtue there to gain life would have been better. Now, I didn't know they were going to top deck Time Walk, but if they gone Cantrip into something, I would have rather have killed the Corey Steelcutter. But it is what it is. I'll see you next round. All right, welcome to round 3. Let's see what we're going up against this time. We have Recall and Multiversal Passage, so we can have the blue. We're going to keep. We're just going to play turn 1 Retrofitter. I could also just see, actually, maybe we just go Restless Vents into a Planisphere, and then that way we can play two things potentially after that. Yeah, I think I like that better. I could have obviously played this for blue and tapped, but I think it's okay to shock it. Ooh, okay. Blue. I'm just going to pay the 2 life. Let's Lightning Bolt, see if anything happens. Okay. I'm just going to recall now then, while the getting's good. I think if they had a permission spell, they would have used it or had it. They could have been like clicking through decently quick, or maybe they just auto passing and I wouldn't have an answer to the Tameo. So just because that went pretty quick, that doesn't necessarily mean they didn't have anything. Let's play the Planisphere, and then I am just going to play the Retrofitter to trigger it immediately. Maybe I'm a liar. I'm a liar. I'm sorry. I totally lied to you. Ruby does not do anything other than trigger, so let's just get rid of that. Also, an Abhorrent Oculus off the top is now easier to cast. This is currently only 2, because we have Island Forest. It is nice that this turns into the 5th type, or into a type for Tribal Flames. Without Windswept Heath, I don't expect Tribal Flames to be domain very often, but I mean, it killed us in Urza. That was nice. Opponent still thinking about what to bring back with this Brainstorm. They likely have a fetch since this is a main phase Brainstorm. It could mean that maybe they're a combo deck, which is kind of scary, that they're not waiting until end of turn. It could also be a Desperation Brainstorm. There's no way of knowing. Okay, they do have the fetch land. They had the quote-unquote perfect Brainstorm. Alright, opponent does seem to be pretty deeply into Bug. Ooh, Flash. Okay. Alright. This could be worse. Okay, they get a Retrofitter. I mean, at least they're not getting a Virtue of Persistence. I would have rather them had Phantasmal or Tribal Flames, obviously, but that's honestly not that big of a deal. Oh, they chose that. Okay, interesting. Now, we can't get back Recall, unfortunately, with this 6. With that said, I'm still just going to play it. Alternative, of course, is just casting Lutri. I don't think I need to do that. I think that's just being greedy. I'd rather save the red for the actual domain purpose. I guess this means I'm equipping it. Sure, whatever. It means I'm equipping this turn, and I think that's fine. I'm glad they didn't hit Recall. Okay, there's a Sapphire. Do they have a 5-drop? No. Too bad these are all legendaries. Yeah, let's just play Tursa. I will probably just give up Phantasmal Image and Tribal Flames and keep Virtue. Just because the inevitability of Virtue is really nice. Okay. That's fine. I'll attack, and then I can kill. Yeah, that's totally fine. I'll attack, and then I can kill the Subtlety after they block, because I assume that they'll block. Oh yeah, okay. So this was -3, -3. I'm sorry. I gained 2 life, not -2, -2. Gained 3 life. I got the stats backwards. With that said, then I'm just gonna play Tribal Flames. No, I'm gonna play Virtue. I should have done that first, and I apologize. It would have been more damage and everything else. And I actually am gonna play Undercity Sewers here. I'm gonna hope to still hit a land off of my attack and or draw step for the Tursa. Okay, there we go. It's not a bad one. Let's see where this goes. We did hit a land. I'll just take the mountain. The Born Oculus would be fantastic if we can get one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna slam this Virtue. I keep lying to you guys, and I apologize for that. Okay, now I can just get stuff for free, like their Crybomination. Yeah, let's get a Crybomination. That sounds fantastic. Since they're not doing anything, I assume this game is going to be over pretty quickly, but we'll see. Sure, I'll take a Tamiya. Why not? I think that's better than just draw 3. We don't really need the draw 3. Famous last words, but I'm okay with that, honestly. That's Phantasmal Image. We're going to copy this Crybomination. Discard another one. Oh, we get a Gristlebrand now? Alright, good game. I love Phantasmal Image. I know not a lot of people don't put a lot of respect on it, but those situations like that are just fantastic. Like, you don't even have to. I mean, it's good like when you hit a Solitude or a Fury, whatever. But when you get to do that, I mean, come on. What's not to love? I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 4. I mean, Orcish Bowmasters is probably good enough. Undercity is probably going to surveil any spell to the graveyard and any land on top, I would imagine. Okay, green deck is not necessarily what we want to see, but... Ooh, that's fantastic. And I'm going to play this out in case they're a Time Twister deck. If I had red mana this turn, I obviously would have used it on the bird. But since I don't, I got to give him a turn. But bet your bottom dollar this Orcish Bowmasters is going to be coming in, and it is going to be hitting this Birds of Paradise. Now, I could have waited, and I probably should have until their upkeep. Maybe not, actually, because they get double blue. Okay, it did resolve. That's fine. It's unfortunate, but at least we killed the birds. Now, if they have, like, Forest Leovold, not Leovold, Raphellos, there we go, then it's not the end of the world. Okay, that gets bolted. They don't currently have a land, but I'm also just really not interested in letting that live. If I had a fetch land in play, like maybe the Surveilled the land, which I wouldn't have done, but like if I had a fetch land, I would probably Phantasmal Image copy it. But since I don't, I'm just going to Lightning Bolt this end of turn and move on with my life. Virtue of Persistence is also another option we could have had. Maybe that would have been better, but now I get to buy Lutri, so... Alright. Bristly Bill, not interested in that at all. Let's see. Ooh, I can double Booster Tutor. That's probably worth it, right? All right, first Booster Tutor. Okay, there's a Mox Jet. That doesn't do too much for us at the moment. There's a Tameo. There's a Flooded Strand, which gets a lot. This may be wrong, but I'm really leaning towards taking this Mox Jet for the first one. And hoping that they just can't abuse Bristly Bill before I can Flame Slash. Let's take Jet. Just because it's guaranteed Goldspan Dragon next turn. There's another Goldspan Dragon. I do have double blue. Sure, we'll take the Mana Drain for next turn, I suppose. Flooded Strand ended up being a little bit better, but I'm not too disappointed. Let's see if they continue to miss land drops or not. It looks like they might, in which case I'm just going to leave up Mana Drain now for the rest of the game. Okay, now we have Goldspan Dragon mana. I didn't have double red before, which is why I said the Flooded Strand might have been better because it gets the Mardu land, but I'm glad it worked out anyways. Because now we can Goldspan and still leave up Mana Drain. And then next turn we can Phantasmal Image Goldspan. And even if they kill Goldspan, that's totally fine because we still have double blue. And I don't think Bristly Bill is worth killing at this moment. And if it is, we can still Kolaghan's Command it if we don't need a Mana Drain because the treasure can tap for double red. But I am probably going to be Phantasmal Imaging the Goldspan Dragon. It's a 4/4 that gets Flame Slashed. I will take... and I'm just going to kill their 2/2 and make them discard a card. They have Daze. If they have Daze, that's fine. I'm not worried. Okay, no, they were just choosing what to discard. Oh, wait, no, undo. There we go. Play this first. Let's image. Copy this. Flame Slash this. Make a couple treasures. Tell our opponent probably good game because we have Mana Drain and they know we have Mana Drain. And into the turn. Alright, well, I mean, Goldspan Dragon's doing decent. The Lutri Booster Tutor. What I'm trying to say is that the cards that I'm saying that needed to overperform are currently overperforming. I'll see you next round. Alright, welcome to round 5. We are currently 3-1. So at worst, we hit my expectation. Now this one is interesting. I think I'm going to keep it, and I can either choose red, which lets me cast Kolaghan's Command if I hit any third land and Questing Druid for 2 shots at a new land, or blue. And I think I'm actually going to name red with it. Let's keep. I could regret this, but I have a decent chunk of blue sources, so I'm just going to play this tapped name red and hope I don't get wastelanded. It's going to be really unfortunate if I get wastelanded here. Now I'm going to draw like Mox Ruby probably. Okay. Okay, so, okay, there we go. I hit 2 lands. I only get to keep one of them, but you know what? One of them's a blue land, so... Well, we're definitely going to play Windswept Heath. I don't think this gets anything untapped besides... Oh, no, okay, I did cut the basic forest. That's right, because I don't need it. See, blue-green is definitely what I should be getting. Virtue of Persistence. That's not bad, but I'd rather draw another land. Plus, it helps me get to a Boron Oculus. Yeah, let's say go, see what they want to do. I am glad that I hit 2 lands, but I wish it was like a land and a spell. But in the long run, I might be happy that I exile the land out of my deck. We'll see. Okay. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. And this is a mountain, isn't it? Alright, well that's probably going to kill us. Yeah, they get to just... whatever. Alright, good game. I'm not going to bother messing around with this. I'll see you next round. Alright, welcome to round 6. Our back is to the wall. We are 3-2. Well, we have Baleful Strix mana. That's nice. And we can even have a Thieving Skydiver to steal like a turn 1 Soul Ring, maybe. So, yeah, let's keep. I'm going to lead with Sewers. The only green card in our deck, well, we have 2, but we're going to keep Booster Tutor on top. And I'm going to play Mox Ruby in case they have like a Time Twister effect. Anyways, the only real green card we have in our deck is 6. Questing Druid is in our deck very specifically because it draws us 2 cards. Okay. I think I'd rather just Hedge Maze here, and then maybe I can Booster Tutor afterwards. I'm okay with getting rid of a Brainstorm. Booster Tutor, see what we can hit when we get more information. I think I want to cast it almost regardless. I could see waiting, of course. Yeah, even if I can Booster Tutor for a Force Negation or a Will, I'm not willing to counter that, obviously. Shelldock Isle. Okay, that's scary. Well, if there's a Wasteland or a Strip Mine in our pack, we might be interested in that. And then we can Thieving Skydiver. So maybe if I find Force of Will, I'll take that to protect the Thieving Skydiver. Ooh, there's a Hull Breacher. Show and Tell, Kefka, Mox. Mox does let us Gold Span, but I'd rather Thieving Skydiver. We can Kefka. It's not bad either, actually. I'm not going to waste time reading Joshua. If it's a good card, I'm sorry that I'm not doing that. Maybe we just want Hull Breacher for the follow-up. Yeah, we're not guaranteed to be able to Kefka, so I'll take the card that we can guarantee cast next turn. They are going to give us the Mana Vault tapped, but you know what? At least they're not going to use it, hopefully. Yep. Alright, that's good news. Cycle Miscalc. I'm very glad they can't play that for multiple reasons. Now we're going to take this Baleful Strix. If I had a 3rd mana there, I probably just... Actually, no. If I had 3rd mana, I'd leave a Hull Breacher, obviously. I would have bought Lutri, but... Alright, well, we have pressure on our opponent. We just took 3 mana away from them. I'm feeling pretty good. I am just going to take 1 off of this Mana Vault, probably for a couple turns. At least 1. But after that, I could potentially basically pay 4 for Lutri if I want to save a life, or I could even leave a Pole Breacher. Oh, they don't have a land drop. Decline. All right, well, now I'm going to put Lutri in hand. And I hope I don't have to cast this Colgan's command. I don't think that does much of anything other than Colgan's command gets it back to our hand if we want to steal another artifact. But I could see them just wanting to prevent damage, but I think they should have done that. Well, okay, never mind. I take back what I was about to say. I'm sure some people know what I was about to say. I take it back immediately. Definitely, I did it earlier in this draft where I took damage and then killed something after damage. That's definitely the smarter way to do it. I don't know why I was about to utter the opposite like an idiot. um, yeah, let's just let them counter the Hull Breacher, I guess. Okay. Decline. Now we Goldspan Dragon. Hit them for 5. And then hopefully whatever they play is an artifact that we can just Colgan's command. Yep. Alright, you got your Mana Vault mana for 1 turn. Oh, white. Scary. Fractured Identity. That's a punish and a half. Resolves. I guess I'm Lutring Colgan's command next turn because I don't know. I'm 1 mana short of doing it now. Yeah, that was a good one. I was not thinking about Fractured Identity in the slightest. Yep. If they have another counterspell, which they're likely to have, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Okay, that makes me happy, honestly. That it really does. Yeah, my turn. I take 1, decline. Please draw something sweet. I don't think that counts. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 8, so I have enough to do all of it, I believe. Yes. They discard. Oh, wait, no. That was almost really bad. Target player discards 2 damage. Done. Why is it being weird? Okay, that's why, because full control mode. No, that's... I took an extra damage I didn't have to. Okay, that's frustrating, but it is what it is. I could have got back the Hull Breacher, obviously, but I don't know if I also wanted the Thieving, and I'd rather just hit them with both their things. If they have a way to counter, that's going to be annoying, but I can't do much about it. I'm hoping that they're just selecting which cards to discard. No, wait, red. Are they just going to kill something in response? I'm okay with that. They like suplex. Oh, Angie's Ravager. Nice. Good for them. Unfortunate for us. Now if they have a counter spell, it's gonna be just very bad for us. Okay, we're not attacking. And next turn I will be buying back the Mana Vault and hopefully never tapping this Mana Confluence again. A recall would be really nice off the top. 25 to 26. Okay, so their Shelldock Isle is still pretty decent behind. Well, at least if it attacks, they have to discard their entire hand. Oh no. That's going to kill Baleful Strix probably, I would imagine. I'm glad I killed their... I almost let their Goldspan Dragon live and just pick up my 2 lands, but now I'm very glad that I did not do that. Yeah, I will block. And I will block with Lutri as well. Yep, discard your hand, draw 3. I really hope they don't have a 1-man. Okay, I was gonna say I'm taking this block, almost no matter what, because I do not want them to like ponder the following turn or the following main phase. Yeah, we will auto pay. That's not good. That's also not good. All right, we need like recall into something. Oh, that's gonna be game. Good game. Well, we finished 3-3. It looks like, just like I predicted. That's unfortunate, but I still had a lot of fun. I think this deck was maybe a land or 2 less from getting out of it. Notably, if I didn't make them discard, Hull Breacher wouldn't have really done much. I wouldn't have been able to cast it before they did their thing, and they would have had removal for it anyways. So I'm glad I played it the way I did. It just didn't work out that way. But anyways, I'll see you in the next draft. All right, this was the deck that we ended up finishing with. The games I saw Retrofitter, it did all right. Booster Tutor, I think I could have maybe chosen better cards, but I liked what I took in the moment. I think that was fine. With a deck like this having so many cantrips, I was hoping to be a little bit more consistent, and I think there towards our last couple of losses, I think they were just unfortunately inconsistency losses more so than like our deck just not performing well. Which that's part of playing a card game. I still love it, but it is unfortunate when those things happen, and it's all right to recognize those. Um, I liked we had plenty of basically everything. The only thing that we were kind of missing was counter spells, but I don't know. It's nice to have counter spells, but at the same time, if they play something before you can play your counter spell, then your counter spell's not doing anything. So I tend to like the proactive cards more than the reactive cards when it comes to that, because your kill spell, it can act like a counter spell. Obviously, it doesn't stop ETBs, but it's a kill spell, now, and it's a kill spell later, where a counter spell can only counter it when it's on the stack, if that makes any sense. That's my logic there. Um, but yeah, I think the deck ran fine. I think ultimately it was just really the last couple games were just inconsistency, not drawing our cantrips. I know I bottomed a brainstorm pretty early, but it was definitely correct in my opinion to do so at the time. Um, so yeah, I hope you had fun watching, and I'll see you in the next draft.